Hey everybody, Adam here for True North Wilds, and this is the Hookup. Today I want to talk about the Mimic Minnow from Northland Tackle. Northland fishing tackle, northlandtackle.com. They're very popular around here. I'm not sure how well known they are outside of Manitoba, Canada, but around here this is a pretty big name. And there's a good reason for that. The Mimic Minnow is a good example of what makes Northland Tackle so popular around here. What it actually is basically just a pre-rigged soft plastic with a jig head. The jig head, granted, is really nice and it's got this fish head shape and it's sized and matched up to fit exactly with the plastic. But other than that, it's essentially just a pre-rigged soft plastic and jig head. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying that's a great thing. Keeps you from having to mix and match. It just gives you something you can tie onto the line and just start throwing. This one that I have here is a perch color. It's got the paddle tail, nice orange paddle tail. It's got a little bit of holographic sparkle in there. So they got the stripes, it's got the green, nice green perch color. And then of course the jig head with the realistic fish head profile in the eyes. They call it their baitfish image. It's a baitfish image trademark sort of thing that they use. Lifelike holographic baitfish image body that swims and wiggles. Mimics a soft and chewy minnow. They make it sound really delicious. Deadly on crappie, walleye, bass, and all fish that eat minnows. Now, that's what they have to say about it. I basically agree. I took this out this spring. I had a really tough spring fishing. I was having trouble catching anything, including pike, believe it or not. So, when I tied this on my line, I went to this little backwoods, basically a pond, but it's a little backwoods lake. I don't even know what the name of it is. I took my kayak in there and I was just not having any luck, and I was coming off of a week of basically catching nothing. These things were a lifesaver. The action in the water with this paddle tail and then these fins on the bottom and just the profile of everything and the way it's sized and the way that it matches up to the jig head, everything about it, it just looks really good in the water. It has this awesome swimming action. The paddle tail gives tons and tons of action in the water, and then that orange color is very attractive. And of course it's the perch pattern, so it's a bait fish that so many predators recognize and will go after. This little lure here got me out of a week-long slump. It got me onto all kinds of pike. I caught pike after pike after pike. When I tied this on, it was actually lower on my list of priorities to try this out. That day I had tried a whole bunch of other things. When I finally threw this on, it was literally the first cast and I had a pike on. And it was almost every cast after that they were going after this, at least, where I could see them going after it, or I would get bites and just didn't hook them. And then I actually did hook just pike after pike after pike, non-stop. The Mimic Minnow really came through for me in a tough slump of a spring. And as soon as you throw it in the water, you can see why. I definitely understand why Northland fishing tackle is so popular around here, and it's just, they're made for Canadian waters. They're made for those good Canadian predator fish, the northern pike, walleye, smallmouth bass. Go after these. You can even catch perch on these that are bigger perch going after littler prey as well. Like they catch almost everything. Northland Tackle really puts out a good product with this Mimic Minnow. It really does mimic the bait fish that it's representing. In this case, a perch. I've used their minnow ones as well. Their minnow ones are exactly the same. They really mimic the minnow. They got great action. They catch everything. I got nothing bad to say about this lure. Like I said, it came through for me. There's no negatives to it that I can think of. I caught pike after pike after pike, actually on this one in particular, and it's barely chewed up, it's barely ripped, it's very durable. It lasted, on this one lure, I probably caught at least a dozen pike within a few hours that I was on that lake testing it out, and it's still in one piece, so that says a lot about the plastic. The nice thing is, when the plastic does finally rip out or get chewed up or you want to switch it out, the jig heads are really nice. They got that nice fish head profile. You could match up another similar soft plastic, maybe something that's more appropriately colored for the water that you're fishing. Whatever the reason, you can swap this out really easily. You have a really nice jig head to use for other plastics. It's got the bait keeper little hook on the bottom of the shank there. It's a nice long shank hook, and then the profile of it, like I said, is really nice because it mimics that fish head really well. Mimic Minnow, Northland Tackle, northlandtackle.com if you want to check them out. It's a great lure. I'm going to probably grab a couple more packs of these in different colors just because they work so well. So I highly recommend them. Go check them out. If you're not already, don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds, on Instagram @TrueNorthWilds, and of course our blog site, TrueNorthWilds.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you outside.